Hello, this is a short video demonstrating uh, tracing capabilities in Istio and how the OpenTelemetry instrumentation CRD can help to propagate the context between services. So this is the OpenTelemetry CR that I created in the cluster. What's what is important here is just the OTLP exporter that points to my Jaeger collector endpoint that will receive OTLP data. And then there's instrumentation CR, and the instrumentation CR points to the collector created before. And the most important configuration option is the B3 multi propagator. So this is the format that Istio or Envoy proxy uses to to encode trace and span IDs. So it's documented on the Istio documentation. And on top of that, the documentation says that X request ID header should be propagated as well. However, when you look into the Envoy docs, they say that the header is needed for consistent trace sampling and logging correlation. However, I didn't find out how it's useful for logging. If the application needs to use this header and put the value into logs for that can be then further used for log correlation, or Envoy uses it somehow behind the scenes. They as well mention on the Envoy docs that the header can be used for sampling. However, they as well mention that the trace propagation protocol, which in this case be free, can be used for sampling as well. So just an FYI that the X request ID header might be useful or it might not be useful depending on how if the application uses the header. Okay, so this is the app I deployed. I will just create some requests to generate data. And in the Jaeger console, now we should see a trace. Let's pick this one that has 16 spans. And so the application is actually port forwarded to my host, which means that the first inbound span from Envoy will not be here because the request will not go through proxy and will go directly to the application. So the first span, it's coming from the OpenTelemetry instrumentation. In this case, this is an Node.js server. So we will see a bunch of Node.js spans. And then the front end is calling backend one. So from Envoy, we will send outbound span, which is as well annotated with tag component proxy, and inbound span for backend one service, again component instead of proxy, and it's a server or inbound span. And then finally, a child span of the inbound Envoy proxy span, which is coming from the application, and in this case, it's a Python Flask server. Okay, this is everything. Thank you very much for attention.